get this show on the road. You make sure that.
I just got done mowing.
That's what you said.
Yeah.
I
was like, I just got home from my grandma's, taking care of my grandma, and then came home, sat in the chair naked for a little bit, and then I was like, you know what? I probably have time to mow before I.
And you guys are live.
I probably have time to mow before. Oh, we weren't live before. I probably have time to mow before.
Well, when you said that you were
starts.
naked, you were live.
Oh, I did. Nice. I was like, I'll just lay in the chair naked for a little while. It's like my favorite thing to do after work. Not really.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I put plastic down first to
really?
keep the. No, I'm just kidding. No.
I rub my cat's face in it. Get over here.
Yeah. I sit on the chair like the Fonz. Hey. Sit on it.
I actually woke up this morning at 7 because I've been waking up at 7, opening up the track for the last couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
Woke up at 7. I actually felt kind of good. I was like, maybe I shouldn't go back to sleep. And I'm like, wait a minute. I don't work today. I'm going back to sleep. So then I woke up. I went to Shields, bought some fishing stuff. I think Emerson, I, and his cousin are going to go find a place to fish tonight after the podcast is over.
Ooh.
And then it's back to it tomorrow. I got to go back to work tomorrow and do crawling and mini racing and kind of just get back right into the groove.
Yeah.
Just like that.
I'm probably going to take the week off.
I haven't even watered the track yet.
I don't blame you. I remember I was up there for 4 days straight in the parking lot. Like, I never left the building other than to go eat at night.
Yeah.
That's it. That is it. I can't believe I was the only one with a camper.
Yeah, I know. Usually we have a couple more, and it's kind of like a party zone.
Yeah, it's like a little shanty town, you know?
Oh, well.
Yeah, it's just a lone wolf pack out there. The lone wolf pack out in the parking lot. I was like, man, hopefully somebody doesn't try to murder me, because if somebody tried to murder me and there's somebody else there, I would have been like, ah! And
yeah, but if nobody's there, what's the point? There's no point.
Yeah, if nobody's there, do I scream? Do I make a scream? Is that how the saying goes?
Yeah. Oh, if you scream and there's nobody around.
Visit. Oh, it's a tree in the woods. Damn it. I always screw that one up. Anyway.
Yeah, we don't have a camera on that side, too, that works. So if you would have gotten murdered, there would have been no proof of it.
You shouldn't have said that on the podcast.
I haven't gone up there.
Now you're going to get that camera fixed, right?
No, I haven't gone up there and fixed it yet. It's a solar-powered one. For some reason, it stopped accepting solar power, so I got to put batteries in it.
Yeah, but you're gonna fix it I'm
gonna
tonight,
fix it.
Right?
I'm gonna fix it right when I drive by the Plex tonight. When I drive by on my scooter, I'm gonna run down and grab some double A's and I'll fix it.
It's probably getting fixed right now, actually. So.
Yeah, I actually need to. That does remind me, I do need to get that fixed. But to be honest with you, the new owner doesn't really look at the cameras all that much. So.
Yeah. Nice.
I pretty much
He has a lot of trust in you.
Well, the cameras aren't for us. The cameras are for like the parking lot and the dirt track and that sort of thing. So it's
sure.
I look at the cameras more now than I think anybody.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I looked at the cameras last night when I got home because I belted out this amazing burp, and I was hoping that it got caught on camera.
Yeah.
But it didn't.
Remember that time you posted that video of you dropping your bike in the vestibule?
Oh,
yeah.
Yep. Yep. I also have a couple fart videos that I could put on too that I still have saved on my phone.
That should be the next, the post for our podcast. Like you farting, really loud and hard on the security camera. That'd be really funny.
I could do it. I got one of a customer too. I've been afraid to post it. I was going to put it on my personal YouTube channel.
Yeah.
But
is it just like, wah?
Kind of like this guy just walks in. And this was a couple of years ago when we first got the cameras too. The guy walks in and just lets it out, and his wife is right next to him, and she hits him kind of, and he just shrugs his shoulders, and then they just continue on their way.
Yeah,
like nothing happened.
there's this time I walked down the aisle at Hobbytown, and there's this guy standing in the tire aisle, and I was like, hey, it was like during one of the Pro Series races. That's what it was. He's standing in the tire aisle, like looking at tires and stuff, and he goes, I go up to him and be like, hey, can I help you out with anything? As soon as I could say, like, help you out with it, he goes, like, just wham, like leans into it, like, and then just looks at me like this, like, and I just go, all right, have fun. And they left. I just went back to labeling product or whatever I did.
Man. Yeah. Fart jokes are pretty fun.
Oh, they're the classiest of the jokes.
They're the best. I am curious. Hey, by the way, this is Alex Sturgeon with the Hobbytown Hobbyplex. And with me, as always,
Will Brinton.
And we're here today. Do you know that we've not been on for 3 weeks?
Yeah.
It's been, we didn't do July 4th because it was July 4th. The week before that, I was busy building the track. Mm-hmm. And then the week before that, my sister was actually on vacation. So we kind of had a nice little vacay, basically, from the show. I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of nice. Mm-hmm. To not be like worrying about driving down here for a couple weeks, but yeah, I'm actually, this was an important one. I'm actually really glad that we're here. So
yeah, we have a lot to go over, but yeah, it was well, we were gonna do one the week before INS or last week, and
it was July 4th.
I was like, no, which one were you building the track for?
The week before
before that?
Yeah,
we were gonna do one. And I was like, are we doing a podcast? And you're like, yep. And I said, okay. I got a track to build. And then, yep, got to build a track.
Yeah, so. I changed my mind.
Mm-hmm. I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I would have, too. Yeah. I was surprised that we were going to do one.
No, I know. I just, it's one of those things where I thought it was going to be okay to take 4 hours out of the day. But I was on such a roll moving stuff, and I was having, it was... This track, when I was building this track, it was one of those times where everything just sort of came together in a rhythm like it should have been. You know, there were no problems with any equipment, and I just didn't want to stop. I wanted to get done with it. So I'm I don't know. I didn't want to stop. I didn't want to quit, you know? So that's why we didn't do it.
Yeah, right. I'll blame you.
Yeah. I'm looking for something. Oh, here we go. What is that supposed to be? Well, while I'm doing this, did you know that this show is brought to you by Pivot Lending?
Get out of town. Really?
Yeah. Pivot Lending has been sponsoring the show for almost 2 full years now.
I don't know how to whistle, but...
So that we can go weekly. And if you're in the need of a refinance or home loan, make sure that you get a hold of Aiden Olson's dad, who we'll talk about here in a little bit, or Don Zoller, and mention our show. You can get a $500 lender credit or 0.125 off your interest rate. Mm-hmm. And my wife and I actually refinanced our house last April with Pivot, and it was flawless. And at the time, it was COVID craziness, so we couldn't even really... Everything was done by email or by FaceTime. Mm-hmm. And the only person we ever actually interacted with was the closer.
Nice.
Or who's the guy that they got to, like... What's that called? The guy that, like, verifies that
Lending officer? Oh, the notary?
Notary. There you go. He was a notary type person.
We had to meet a notary at a Starbucks.
Really?
Yeah, that's where we did our notarizing.
Wow.
Or no, I paid for a notary. What was this? There was like some lady we had to meet up with too. And maybe she was a notary too to sign all the paperwork.
Yeah. It was maybe a stack like that.
Thick. Yeah. Initial here, sign here, date here, initial here. Yeah. I thought about making a stamp for that. I don't know if you can do that legally.
I don't know if you can do that legally.
I mean, I could.
I hope I don't ever have to do one of those ever again. I like our house. Hopefully we'll just stay there.
I like your house too.
Yeah, I like my house.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we just get into it? Because my son's gonna be waiting for me after work tonight to go fishing, and I'm sure everybody watching is like, can't they just get to the point?
Nah.
First things first. The news was broke today that Ernie Pervetti died.
Yeah, that is super sad.
That is the RC community in general is just getting rocked this last couple of years. Some of it due to COVID, but some of it just out of the blue.
Mm-hmm. I thought he was in good health. Like a few months ago, he's posting pictures of his cats. He actually texted me when my cat died.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty rad.
Yeah, like because we both had flat-faced cats that died, like really close. I mean, within a year of each other. But yeah, no, I mean, he was always nice to me. I never had any issues with him. I never run any of his stuff personally, but
I met him in person at the 99 Mod Nats in Corona, California at M&M Hobbies. And I had gone there by myself. So I lived in California with my stepdad's sister. So is that an aunt? I don't know. But I basically saved up. I took a telemarketing job extra along with my regular job, and I eventually took a leave of absence, and I quit the telemarketing job, and I took all that money, and I went out there and I lived for a little while. I think it was a month. Yeah, it was a month. It was from May to, God, I don't even remember when the race actually was. Maybe August? It was hot. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Anyways, so I lived with her for at least a month and tried to race and all that stuff and did terrible. And I had a chance to go to the ranch pit shop when on their last race day before they closed. But I wasn't going to be able to figure out a way to get back. I could have gone with somebody, but they weren't going to bring me back, so I didn't go. But I met him in person there, and I was so starstruck because Gil Losi Sr. was there too, and Junior was there, and Kinwald was there, and I remember being so starstruck that I was very back then I would say I was kind of introverted too, so I didn't even really try to introduce myself to him, but I sort of meekly would walk by him, and I don't know. But I finally said hello, and I said, I'm Froboy from RC Tech, I'm from Tech Talk, not RC Tech, because Trinity Tech Talk, that was the.
He was like, "What's Tech Talk?"
Right? No, but that was the.
I'm kidding.
Back then, with the internet, that was the first real forum. There was, I think the Starting Grid was still was new back then too, but Tech Talk was kind of like the first place that I'd ever gone to where I could meet or talk to other RC people via the internet.
What year was this?
Well, 99 was the Mod Nats.
99.
But Tech Talk, I think I had been on Tech Talk probably from 97 maybe.
I thought there was a forum that at the 97 Worlds that they were posting the results to. Now it was either the forum or a website, the results of every race.
Really?
Yeah, it was in
Competition
the 97
RC maybe.
Maybe that was it.
Yeah. But you know how RC Tech is with a traditional now, forum type thing. Where you click on it and then you click on the sub forums and all that stuff. This was even before that, you know. And I remember I was running the RC Motorsport in 98 and 99 around then, and I was trying to get sponsors for a trophy race. And I remember I had posted on there something, and Ernie Pervetti had written back, well, why don't you get these other guys to give you stuff? Just shutting me straight down. And but I had occasionally been able to go back and forth with him on some stuff on Trinity Tech Talk. And then I finally got to introduce myself to him, and I introduced myself as Froboy at that race.
Yeah.
And he didn't really remember, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. And then I think between then and now, I probably
he was like, you, like,
yeah,
in person.
I was expecting that. I don't know if I had just a big head. I thought he'd remember, but it's not like I insulted him or anything.
Like he like grabs your shirt.
Yeah, get over here. But I don't know. I was pretty happy to finally meet him personally back then.
If I'm ever on a forum again, my name's gonna be Seabass.
Seabass.
Yeah, Seabass. Anyway, sorry.
I think that's the only time I actually got a chance to actually like talk to the man in person. I think I know as competition director for Roar, I did email with him back and forth a few things, and I immediately forwarded it to the president because I'm like, I'm staying out of this. I know I'm comp director, but this is your guys' thing, you know?
Yeah, right.
And there might have been some other Roar things because I had been on some committees too in the 2000s. Where I think I remember him posting some stuff to the committee and giving my input and everything like that. But I think in person, I think that was it. I think he was supposed to come to the 2008 Carpet Nats, but he didn't.
Oh, really?
But Jim Dieter was there instead.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I don't know. But sad day. It's kind of weird just to be, I don't know. I was thinking about this earlier, and just you kind of like when you start getting my age, because I know I'm 10 years older than you, but you start to think about stuff like that. I don't know, like my dad. My dad likes to talk about his death all the time. Like, this is what you guys are going to do when I'm dead, and this is what you're going to get if you get anything. This is what, you know. I don't want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But you do start to think about stuff like that, especially with Matt, you know, passing away. And,
yeah.
You know, guys like that we knew, like Cody getting COVID, and Ryan Hodgson, and you know, Ryan Dawson.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just in the last couple of years. I mean, it's crazy to me that, you know, we won't ever really get to talk to them again.
Yeah.
And I did not expect to get emotional Sunday either when I was asking for the moment of silence, but I did, and it kind of caught me off guard. I was like, whoa, why am I getting emotional about it? But
yeah,
I did. I don't know. I think I don't know. I'm just getting to be a more sensitive person.
No, yeah, the older I get, the more sensitive I am.
Yeah.
The more I think about things like that too. But yeah.
I think the Trinity brand itself, I bet you, is in pretty good hands. I don't think
Oh, I'm sure.
I don't think there's anything to worry about there. I don't think it'll be. Yeah, I bet you the Trinity brand is, you know, sticks around.
Yeah, I bet it does.
I don't know anything about who's going to run the company or anything like that, but I bet you it doesn't go anywhere.
Because isn't Dieter not with Trinity anymore?
I don't think so. I don't think Dieter's been there for a while.
Yeah, I think he left to start his own track somewhere.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
Well, so, yeah, anyways, rest in peace, Ernie Pervetti. Another big name in RC. It's crazy, too, to think about it. Because, like, you know, back in the day, you had Reedy versus Trinity. It was almost, I mean, it was probably sometimes even more heated than Associated versus Losi.
Yeah.
You know. So. They also came out with one of the worst cars on the planet ever.
Which one?
The Itsy Bitsy Spider.
Oh, yeah, that one.
The little 18 scale car.
Yeah. I thought you were talking about, like, the touring cars they would come out with and sell through the container. You never see them again.
Oh, no, I admit, I originally go straight to the monster truck and the mini truck.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then they made some pretty rad 12 scales back in the day, and, you know.
Oh, yeah.
The reflexes. Mm-hmm. I had one.
Did you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I didn't race it for very long, but I had one.
Yeah.
It was cool. I had a sparkly purple chassis.
I don't think I ever owned a Trinity vehicle. Just worked on them at the store every once in a while.
Yeah. Well, all right, let's move on. We hosted the Jconcepts Indoor National Series Summer Nationals this past weekend. We had 266 entries was the final count. If you take away the mini racers, it was probably, it ended up being 250 something. I was a little bummed about that because at one point we had 315 entries.
Mm-hmm.
And we weren't at capacity as far as seating goes. And then it's kind of, we were at 295 at the start of the weekend, and then we had a whole bunch of drops, last minute drops that I still got to refund a couple to. But it whittled its way down. A couple people couldn't come because they got sick. A couple of people couldn't come for other circumstances. And
yeah,
I mean, it is what it is. You expect that sort of thing now. I mean, I do. I remember 2 years ago, the ProTech race, you know, I ended up dropping like 60 people off the list, and I was pretty butthurt about that one.
Mm-hmm.
This one I'm not butthurt about. I just, in a way, it was kind of nice because then we got rid of like 3 heats, so we got done a little bit earlier. And it didn't change the dynamic of the race at all. It didn't change how competitive the race was or anything like that.
No, I didn't think so.
Yeah.
I was surprised the people that were there, because you like the people the people that didn't drop out. That's what I mean. Like usually the people that normally drop out were there.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
You know what I'm saying?
It was good to see Lee Conley Jr. there.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely was.
He raced all 4 classes, and he looked like he was having fun. He had a smile on his face.
Yeah.
A lot of locals came out for this one. That doesn't always happen at big races, but I think a majority of the independent classes were filled with our guys.
Sure. I would say so.
And that was that's what that should be. You know? Because you're not going to get somebody. I don't think you're going to get somebody to travel to 3 of these things across the country to win an independent title.
Yeah, that or maybe it's somebody that's independent that travels with a pro racer, or
yeah, there you go.
Maybe it's somebody that just is like, hey, I'm getting pretty good locally. Maybe I should go to some more races.
Yeah,
and race independent and have a fighting chance. Because back when we were doing it and traveling, we got thrown right in mod with the pros. We didn't have an independent class. Like our independent class was stock.
Yeah.
But there's really nothing, even back then, like it wasn't really stock.
Yeah.
But it was like, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
It was like something different. But it was like pro stock even back then.
Yeah. So. No doubt.
So you had to race all the pros.
The mod classes turned out to be rather competitive. I think well, I'll get into this right now before we get into the results or anything like that. So this is actually the first big race we've had since 2016 in the summertime.
Yeah.
So our summer series races are 1-day events. Even when we do get 200 entries, I'd say half of the crowd comes on Saturday. So you have Friday night where we run the track in and get practice. And then you have all day Saturday, with 2 hours of practice or 3 hours of practice, and then we're off racing. And it's just 2 rounds of qualifying in mains, right? Mm-hmm. So what we know about our track, we try to convey that to everybody to know what to expect. And locally for our big race, which is the summer series, where we get the biggest turnout, in that period of time, that Friday night to Saturday night, we're almost always on golds.
Mm-hmm.
And we hardly ever run slicks.
Yeah.
And like I told people, you could probably get away with it in 4-wheel drive, but 2-wheel drive, I think it'll still be I think July 30th, it'll still be tough to run slicks at the summer series.
I think so too. It'll be like the guy trying it. I mean, you're going to be trying it for the main. It might come around to where you could get away with it and have it be faster, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It was I mean, it's either going to be work really well or really badly.
Yeah.
That's the gamble with slicks when you start out on a tread track,
Right. But see, now that we've had a 4-day event with 260 entries constantly running on the track, we're constantly blowing it off every couple hours, which I think worked fine, by the way.
Oh, yeah,
I think there was a few that wanted us to do it more, but for the sake of time and just keeping stuff the same, it's always been my philosophy. If you're going to say you're going to do something one way, just do it that way, And I've always tried to do that. So I think it worked out. I know that by the end of Saturday night qualifying, like, you probably didn't even have to blow the track off anymore.
Yeah.
And it would have been just fine. But, because I water every night too, you still got to do it, especially in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Try to keep the timetable. But now that we know, that our track will eventually get to the spot where Silver Slicks in the summertime, won't be a cluster, then I think that might be better for this race the next time we hold it.
No, I think so too.
I think there won't be that cloud of mystery.
Yeah, I think the guys are going to have a little bit more of a idea of what you do, and when, including us. Like, I didn't expect it to go to that. Guys are asking me, "Do you normally run Silver Slicks?" I'm like, dude, Silver's worked one time, like last year, and I could never figure out why they worked then and not other rounds.
Yeah.
For a summer series. Like, remember that? I ran Silvers and they were like really good.
Mm-hmm.
I never figured out why they were so good then. And it was probably just the humidity was just right to get the track running, or there was a higher number of entries that round.
Yeah.
Could have been. And it's like, dude, I don't know. And so now it's like, hey, you're always going to have a set of Silver Slicks in your back pocket. And, because of that, I bet we get more people that come in for this race in the future because it'll take slicks. There's some people that's what they want to run on. And honestly, like, slicks are kind of easy. You don't have to do hardly anything to them.
Well, I think Adrenaline will be the same way. If they hold the INS again at Adrenaline, I think it'll be the same way. We'll know. We will know that as soon as they start blowing the track off, like every heat that they did in seeding, as soon as that started, then we can probably run slicks.
Yeah, I could see that. So that's my opinion. Like more like the easier that it is perceived to be, because we've been kind of known as the hard surface to get a hold of. Like, oh, you guys run treads there? Like, you get that a lot, like even from some of the pro drivers.
I know.
Or you gotta run them how many times, and then they're race tires. It's like,
I overhear every once in a while, I see on Facebook, oh, the track is like really bumpy. Oh,
yeah.
You're just like, whatever.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like, and this is actually like the smoothest. Like, our track was really smooth this time. I mean, that was probably the best surface we've ever raced on at the Plex. In my opinion,
I was pretty
had a big race on. I think that our surface for club racing is like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It did crack and change a little bit when I at the end of qualifying day, Saturday night. Here's a little inside baseball for all of you guys that are watching this right now, that we're at the race or want to know what guys like me do at these things. So my day wasn't done yet. I had to go back, and I had this like hidden area of mud, basically, that I know it's always muddy because of the anytime that it rains, especially, I get this little batch of mud, and I can take that, and I can go around and I can fill in little flakes or cracks or parts of the track that get busted up and stuff like that. And I had to do that Friday night and Saturday night, and especially Saturday night. That back tabletop, the landing of the back tabletop got super, super dug out. I could not believe it. It was almost like a nitro race back there.
Mm-hmm.
So
Our track Bondo bucket.
Yeah, I stayed and filled all that in and tried to smooth it out. And then I walked, as I'm walking the track, blowing the track off, you could see where our track sort of changed a little bit. As it's drying out, even though it's still humid in there, we don't water during the race day, so it definitely dries out a little bit, but it cracks, and then it sort of like it kind of moves around on its own, or when people walk on it, certain spots. I even think cars. I think enough cars go by, it almost acts like a water eroding on dirt or on a surface. Cars act that way, and it can kind of put like a little lane in there almost.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a lot of that around the track Saturday night. So I fixed all that. I made sure to water pretty much the same way I did Friday night, so nothing would be massively different in the morning. And then I kept, the little shortcut jump?
Yeah.
So the four-wheel drives come up to that, and they hit it, and that front end's always dig that out and kind of gives it a weird extra lip.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why cars were getting thrown kind of weird at the end of the night on Saturday. So Friday and Saturday night, I took the shovel over there and I got rid of that. I didn't reshape it, but I just sort of gave it its smooth takeoff back.
Mm-hmm.
But that was my favorite part of the track.
Yeah. When you hit it right, it's really nice.
Mm-hmm. So
honestly, when I first was practicing that, I hated it.
I know.
And then you got used to it. Oh, yeah, I told you.
You're on the driver's stand.
Better hear it from me.
You're on the driver's stand. You're like, man, that thing's stupid. Everybody's really going to hate that. And that's all they're going to talk about all weekend.
And that's all. A lot of people, it's all they talked about. It's like, man, I love this track, but that thing. Like, and I said,
just got to practice it, get it down,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think it's cool. We're going to race on that for another month. So,
yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. Oh, so back to my point. We learned a lot.
Mm-hmm.
The Pro Tech race, we never really get to slicks. I think it's because the Pro Tech race is at the end of April, and the end of April is not really ever that hot outside. This year it was actually, I don't think it was very warm at all, was it? Was it? Because I remember April being cold. Like the whole month of April was abnormally colder than it normally is.
Yeah, I remember it being cooler and humid.
And I think last year's race, because it was in February, the track's a whole different animal when it's that cold out.
Mm-hmm.
And, so I think we learned a lot. I think if we have this race in the summer again, which I don't see any reason why Jason would change the schedule around on us.
No, I dig it. I hope he doesn't.
Then I think we'll we now know what we're getting into a little bit more than we did a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah.
So, you want to get to results?
Sure.
Let's break this down. Let's do the order in which we race the races. So, modified four-wheel drive was the first one of the AAA mains that ran, and it was the first one that got done. And Brock Champlin pretty much had a stranglehold on this class. At
Chapstick?
What?
Chapstick?
Is that his nickname?
That's the nickname I gave him this weekend. It's Chapstick.
Did he like that?
Yeah, he really likes it.
Really? Okay.
No, he didn't like it.
I didn't think. I hope not.
He thought it was funny.
Okay, good.
But
right.
Yeah, no, I just kept calling him Chapstick all week.
That's the first time I've ever met Brock Champlin. Is that the first time you've met him?
No, I met him. I met him at a Reedy race, and then I met him at Thunder Road, and I visited with him a little bit at Thunder Road when I went up there by myself to race carpet. And Brock is a really nice guy.
Yeah,
I got along great with him.
Yeah, me too.
Old Chapstick and I, we go way back.
It was nice nice to talk to him, and he answered any question I had for him, and he I think, when did he put on brand new silver slicks? Because I remember.
I don't remember when, but he ran them like one time, and like I think you raced with him on, and he was like, "These things are really good."
Yeah, I remember walking by and I seen him. He goes, "Hey," he looks at me. He goes, "Alex, brand new silver slicks, dude. They're awesome." I was like, "Oh, great. I'm glad, because now let's just I think he was he one of the first adapters too to slicks this weekend?
I think so. Yeah.
I saw one of the Hoosiers out there pretty early on Friday.
Yeah, I think all those guys were running slicks early on, but the track was so dusty then you couldn't really make them work consistently.
Yeah.
Like the line was just too narrow for them yet, and then once the groove got wider, it was easier to make them work. But
so Brock, I believe he TQ'd all 3 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
If I remember right. And then he won the first 2 mains.
Mm-hmm.
So rocking the Schumacher.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And Dustin Evans.
That car has two belts on it.
Yeah.
It's a belt car. That's kind of neat.
It's pretty neat looking.
Yeah.
Dustin Evans, his stuff looked really good. I know he had slicks on pretty early, the S3 compound, I believe.
Yeah.
Him and Brock were just sort of, they never really got too close. The starts in 4-wheel drive were beautiful too, by the way. Like, it was a couple laps before anything even really happened.
Yeah.
It was pretty neat, but Brock basically just sort of drove away from everybody.
Yeah.
Dustin sort of did the same thing in second place. He never really was challenged.
Mm-hmm.
Aiden Horn got 3rd. Cole Tollard was 5th. Tom Rinderknecht. I'm sorry. What am I saying? It was Brock, Dustin, Aiden, and Cole in 4th. Tom Rinderknecht 5th. Lee Setzer in 6th. Aiden Olson. Our Aiden Olson got 7th.
Mm-hmm.
And he was in the mix. It was really neat. It was really cool to see. He was definitely in the mix. In the mid pack, Dominic Passion was another one. That kid's really good. He was flying. Davey Bada came from California. He was doing really good. Mason Herrick, he got the bump to the main. And then Alex Vanderbeek ended up in 11th. But you got Aiden, Mason, and Alex, our locals, all making the mod 4-wheel main.
Yeah.
Which I think is pretty rad.
And Connor, or Mason. He's kind of a local, like an adopted local.
Yeah, that's what I said. Aiden, Mason, and Alex.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I misheard.
Yep. And Tom.
Yeah, and
he's
Tom.
He's kind of an inherited, or not inherited, but even though he moved away, I still consider him a local. So I guess those 4.
Yeah. I'd consider the Hobbytown his home, or Hobbyplex his home track.
Yeah, for sure. So that was pretty neat, for a couple of reasons. And you had Schumacher, Associated, X-Ray, Associated, TLR, what was Davey running? Does Davey run an Associated car?
Yeah,
yes,
he does.
Yes, Associated. So at least there was 4 different manufacturers in the Mod Wheeler main.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat too. I always like to see that. Then you had the 13.5 expert guys run. I tried to put the main event order in the sequence that'd be the same the whole way down, and then fill in the 8-minute races in between, and try to not have too many people run back to back, right? So, 4-wheel drive, Brennan Schimmel was pretty much untouchable.
Oh God, yeah.
I mean,
dude,
as somebody who is in the main and in the qualifiers with him, yeah.
Yeah.
You're just like, wow, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So the race to really, as far as I know, because I know there was a few things of chatter between a few drivers every once in a while. You're going to get that at every race. It's not even really worth talking about. For me, the one thing that I was mainly worried about more than anything was where I put the loop, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for this race, because we use the whole track, we're using the oval loop. The oval loop never comes out of the track,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's always there.
Yeah.
And it's always in the same spot. So I'm like, well, if we're going to use the oval, we're going to use the oval loop. Normally, for nitro racing, we come clockwise around there, right? So they're usually hauling up and then around, because you want the loop to be before pit lane, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but at this race, we're going the opposite direction. So the only thing to worry about is, okay, you need to find the fast laps of the day from practice, and then set your minimum lap to that, or close to it, you know, a little bit, maybe a tenth of a second or so the other way, so that guys don't catch the loop before they turn and burn up that little thing. Well, for the most part, nobody did. I saw cars riding that pipe on the far side, and they wouldn't catch the loop. But there was maybe 4 people, and they were the exact same people for Friday and Saturday, that every once in a while their transponders were strong enough where they would catch the pipe or the loop, right? But if I raised the min lap anymore, any legitimate 21-second laps that would come around, especially in 4-wheel drive, wouldn't count, right? And so it would show a red, and then I'd have to go in and add a lap and stuff like that. And I wanted to reduce that as much as possible, especially because you're running the 13.5 races for me, and I wanted you to have as little work to do as possible, right?
Right. Yeah. Because honestly, like, I'm terrible at catching things like that. I just don't have a lot of experience.
Yeah.
You know?
So I didn't want you to have to worry about anything other than calling the race and saying what's on the screen, right?
Yeah. Right.
So,
no, I appreciate that.
So, so practice day, I'm looking at it, and I know Brennan. It showed Brennan doing a 21.2 in 4-wheeler.
Mm-hmm.
During seeding. So he did a 22.2, like a 22.3, and then he knocked out a 21.2. Now, I'm running the races, and I'm watching for this specific event to happen, and I'm telling you guys, I know none of you believe me, but I'm telling you, I saw Brennan's car jump the tabletop, make the turn, and cross the line and do a 21.2. I saw it with my own eyes. So anybody that was like, oh, that's not a legit lap, I'm sorry, but I saw that happen. When guys would catch it early, I could see when it happened, and I'd look up at the screen and I go, okay, yeah, that makes sense. And then the next lap would be slower.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but it was a 22, and then a really fast, like extraordinary fast lap. But he crossed the line as he did it, and then I think he crashed after that. So there was no way to tell. You know, there was no way to prove to anybody that it was legit, because if his next lap was 22 seconds, you know, that's it.
Yeah.
That's what it is. But I was thinking about it, and I'm like, well, you know, even if that wasn't a legit lap, it's just seating. He would be in the A seat anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, other than getting your picture taken as top seed, like, who cares? You know,
right.
So qualifying comes around, and I was really keeping my eye out for that. And I only saw it a few times in Mod Wheeler. But again, it's the same thing. If you start the race on the correct lap, and then you finish the race on the correct lap, really what happens in the middle of that doesn't really matter a whole lot. The only time where it would matter is if somebody caught the loop early on the last lap. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So there was a few mod guys that were catching it early in the day. It didn't even happen later in the day, but it did happen early in the day, where like they'd have a 21-second lap and their next lap would be a 24. So you put the two together, that makes sense. But that was it. I don't think that affected anything in qualifying, and that was my big worry was that. And so then Saturday night, you know, I get on my phone, I'm looking at stuff, and I I figured out how to change the squelch a little bit, so that the signal strength, a certain signal strength won't get picked up. And Sunday, nobody caught the loop early at all on Sunday. Not one car. So it pretty much worked out fine. That was my big worry for Sunday. Like, my biggest nightmare would have been 2 cars coming over the tabletop together on the last lap and turning, and the inside car catching the line before the other car could make the turn to go to the loop,
Yeah.
But none of that actually happened, so there was nothing to worry about. And you know how I am with anxiety about stuff like that. So, but the squelch thing, I think, took care of it anyways. I had the squelch set really, really low. I think I had it set really, really low because there was some guys at last year's Techno Series race that had shitty transponders and needed some help to get their stuff counting the whole time. So I turned it. I was watching everybody's signal strength, and I basically turned it up to a smidge under the lowest signal strength I could find when I was watching it.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. So. So anyways, 13.5, you had Brendan Schimmel with the TQ and win. He won it in the first 2. Sammy Moran qualified 4th and got a second, finished second. So really good job for Sammy. He was having an up and down weekend in a few other classes. So it's cool to have him. I don't think I asked him, he'd never been here before. And he's a really fast SoCal kid. He's a 13.5 Stadium Truck National Champ, I believe, on carpet.
Yeah.
It's funny because Riley kept calling him the 2-wheel drive buggy national champ, and I don't think he's the 2-wheel drive buggy national champ.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyways.
It's so funny.
Kyle Holmberg with 3rd place. He was driving good all weekend. Mason Templeman with a 4th. He was another California kid. Tyler Patnaud with a 5th. Alan Horn raced 13.5. Must be something with old people and wanting to run 13.5. Like me. So he finished 6th. Hendrickson was the big mover. He had to bump into the A main and then ended up finishing 7th. Ryan Prince finished a little higher than he qualified. I finished 9th. James Bell was 10th, and Jackson Anderson finished 11th. So I did in fact beat Jackson.
Nice.
Yeah. So.
Just kidding, Jackson.
Yeah, we're just screwing around with you, Jackson. We're just screwing with you, dude. My car was bad.
Jackson did really good for not racing in 2 months.
Yeah.
He hasn't raced at all in 2
I know.
months.
He did really good. But I wasn't very happy with my car. Basically, my car, as soon as the traction got to where it was, my car was not very happy car. So I got to work on that. Okay, we'll get to a single. How about independent 2-wheel drive? So, again, a lot of locals in independent buggy, which is really, really cool. In fact, there's only 1.5 not local drivers that were in the A main. So, Dalton Conrad got the TQ.
Nice.
Which is awesome. So, Dalton is your Plex Spec. I talked about this during the race. He's your Plex Spec Summer Series champ from last year, which means he wasn't allowed to race Plex Spec anymore after that. That's our rule. Yeah. So he had a whole season of carpet. Did he race carpet? I don't even think he raced carpet. I think they raced Friday night. So they had a whole.
He did race carpet because I drove his car on carpet.
Oh, he did.
It was like that green anodized one.
Yeah, but I don't think they raced carpet the whole way, did they?
Oh, I don't know. I know they at least ran carpet that one time that I was up there for carpet, and I ran the races.
Oh, okay.
In January.
I think it might have taken him a while then to get their car ready for cars ready for carpet.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Dalton is a former Plex Specker that had a whole season, and then the Pro Tech race I think did pretty well, and then now here was your TQ in 2-wheel drive, and boy, if you got to go back and watch the replay. So I'm so glad that Matt Olson was there to do the camera work, to get the camera work for all these races, because this race, TJ and Dalton were going back and forth a couple laps, and they were just making like legit passes on each other, like one corner after the other without taking each other out. It was brilliant, dude. I mean, it really is a fun race to watch, at least the first part of it, before TJ kind of got away a little bit, but that was legit. And what's really neat is I think they had the pro drivers marshaling their race. You know, and I, as somebody who just likes RC car racing, I think that'd be as a pro driver, I think that would be a fun race to watch, because I think sometimes with any job, you're probably like, oh, I hate this. This is so stupid. And then you see something like that where they're having a very good, clean, competitive race, but they're also enjoying it the whole time.
Yeah.
You know, I think that'd be kind of a cool thing to see. So.
Oh yeah.
Oh, see, there we go. Chili. I guess I was wrong. Sammy ran the carpet Nat's title in 2-wheel drive buggy, not in truck.
Oh, really?
I could have swore he was the truck guy. Maybe it was at the INS race then.
I don't know.
The carpet.
The guy that somebody who won at SDRC. They won like all 3 stock classes. They won truck, buggy, and 4-wheel. And I thought that was one of the guys that was there. Who's the guy with the blue flames? Is that Mason? Or at the blue car with the red flames or whatever?
Yeah.
That's Mason?
Yeah.
That was the guy.
Okay.
So he won all 3 stock classes at SDRC.
Oh. Well, maybe I was thinking of the carpet Jconcepts race though.
Maybe
I thought Sammy went to that too, and maybe he won truck and not the other one.
Maybe I couldn't tell you.
Oh well, it doesn't matter. Okay, there you go. So good job, Riley. You're right about something. He's gonna be so pissed when he comes back and races next week. If he watches this one. Whatever, who cares? Okay, anyways. So, that being said, Dalton Conrad went from TQ to second because TJ Williams ended up taking the win. And TJ Williams also put down a 24-2 hot lap.
Woo-wee!
Independent buggy.
Hell yeah.
That's pretty good. And then check this out. I thought this was also kind of cool, and I'm glad that they were all together on the podium, was Andrew Thomas. So Andrew Thomas had a rough qualifying day, but went from 8th to 3rd. Could you imagine if Bender was there? How crazy. Yeah. Would he have raced independent, you think?
I would think so. No, I think you would have raced both.
Because think of how crazy that would have been if Bender was there in the mix too with these guys. And he's on a cruise ship right now.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyways, so Andrew Thomas, great job in 2-wheel. I'm sure we're not done talking about your efforts here. Keaton Ratty ended up 4th. And then another one, Diego Quintana, another one of those. Remember, we're always talking about Summer Series independent racers. Diego's another one of them. These are all previous Plex speccers, guys. This is why we do things the way we do at the Plex. With Plex spec, and then we have our independent class, and then we do, an expert in 2-wheel drive, and then we have us mod guys, so that these guys can progress and move up when they feel like they're ready, or when they have to, like when Dalton wins Plex spec. That being said, Trevor Moss, another big mover, from 9th to 6th. Connor Herrick and Connor Hausch finished 7th and 8th. Those are all regular independent guys. And then Noah Ward, he was here at the ProTech race, came back for the INS race, ended up finishing 9th, so kind of a rough one from him. And then Jake Poteet ended up 10th. So, again, this was pretty cool to see. A lot of cars in independent buggy. I think it went down to an F main. So first out of like 50 cars for TJ and Dalton and Andrew. It's pretty rad. We'll go over Mod 2-wheel next. So, Mod 2-wheel drive AAA main results. Dustin Evans, again, kind of like how Brock did in 4-wheel drive, Dustin pretty much did in 2-wheel drive. I mean, his car was just cool.
I think it was unstoppable.
It was cool as he was just cool as a cucumber. Just the car never got weird.
Yeah.
It looked like it looked like it wasn't going fast, but his lap times were just 23, 22, 23, 20. I mean, just right in that zone of speed where it had to be. So, Dustin Evans just trounced everybody, to be honest with you. I mean, he drove away in the mains. I think A2 was close for a lap or two, but that was it. So, and you know, I had talked to Dustin at Adrenaline about coming to our place for a summer series stuff, and he's like, "Nah, it's too far away." And I'm like, "Well, yeah." I was like, "What is it going to take to get you there? Maybe beating everybody in an INS race. Maybe it'll get him here."
Yeah, maybe.
Wouldn't that be cool? I think that'd be cool. So, Dustin, if you're ever going to watch this, which you probably won't, but I just want you to know that I have a large basement with all sorts of couches you could sleep on. You know, I have an extra bedroom if you want to sleep there. I don't care, as long as you're not allergic to cats. But my place is always open. So.
Yeah, and we can hang out.
Yeah, then we can hang out too. How great would that be?
Yeah, we can hang out.
Yeah. As somebody who's
I want to hang out with those guys from Nebraska.
I've been told that I get made fun of by pro drivers all the time. So I don't expect
for what?
I don't expect people to hang out with me. So
why do you get made fun of?
This was years ago, but it doesn't surprise me.
Shit, I wonder what they say about me.
Yeah, no kidding. Maybe it was just certain pro drivers. I don't know.
Yeah, I always make fun of you.
There's a lot of stuff to make fun of me about. I keep finding new ways to lose RC car races my whole life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brock Champlin with a second place. And again, Aiden Horn with third. So again, those three drivers were pretty locked in all weekend in both 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive, just first and second switching places. And again, Tom Rinderneck got a fourth here in 2-wheel. And he was struggling. He was on the struggle bus a little bit, from what I could tell, in qualifying. But he got his stuff together. So I think he did all right. Lee Setzer was fifth. And then you had Dominic, Davey, Alex, Cole, Drew, and Aiden. So the only one not in the 4-wheel drive main was Drew. It was basically Drew instead of Mason. And I think Mason was in your B main along with Drew. Drew got the bump, right?
Yeah. I believe you're right.
Yeah. So, again, we got Tom, Drew, Alex, and Aiden. 4 locals in the Mod 2-wheel A main. That's pretty awesome. You were almost there.
Yeah, it's close.
You were BQ.
You
want to say what happened?
I crashed on the first corner or second corner of the first lap before I even made it to the loop.
Yes, you did.
I don't know if I could have held off Drew though. Anyway, so
yeah, but don't do that next time.
Yeah, I won't.
Hey, I didn't even get to the first corner either. I didn't even get to cross the line before I was last.
Yeah.
So at least there's that.
I made up some spots.
Yeah, you did.
I think I got 6th, but it's okay.
There was almost 40 cars in mod.
Oh yeah, we had a great showing.
We had a big mod class, so.
I was close. You know, sometimes I feel like I get kind of made fun of for asking too many questions and stuff like that. And it's like, it's like I can drive an RC car. Like I'm not stupid, or I'm not like not good at it, or I'm not terrible. I mean, I'm not great, but I'm not terrible.
Yeah.
And, it's like, hey, I can hang.
Yeah, same here. I mean, I used to have a chip on my shoulder. Especially 2000, maybe 12 through about 15 or 16, because I would, especially when you go to the Reedy race, those 3 years we were able to go, I felt like I had the talent to do better, or to do well and to do better. The first year I was like, clearly I was like pissed because I was in the D main. I didn't feel like I should have been there. And then, you know, the next year I really, really wanted, I had a 4-wheel drive and I really, really wanted to make that main. I just didn't get there. But it was all to prove that I, in fact, could drive good.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't just the fat dude from the Hobbyplex. You know, I wanted to show that I was better than that.
Yeah. Me too.
Now I don't really care. I mean, I kind of care, but I don't really care.
I care. I care a lot, actually.
Yeah, I know.
I care too much.
Okay, so let's move. All right, so we're going to split this up because we have, what was the next one? Oh, you know what? Why don't we just do this? Okay, here we go. The next single main was going to be 40 plus mod A main. And Alan Horn got the win in this one. Brian Dunbar got second. Richard Lake was third. Rico was fourth. And then I ended up in fifth. And I did cross the line under my own power. So there's always that. Tom Smith was sixth. Vanderbeek was seventh. Craig O'Brien was eighth. David Peevler was ninth. And Jason actually qualified for the main with your car.
Yeah.
And then I forgot to take him out of the program. So don't tell anybody.
Yeah, it's funny because I thought he was going to race it on Sunday, but he decided not to. And the whole reason why, because I wanted to see if Silver Slicks would work. So I guess we were the first ones to do it out of like all of us, like because we didn't know if they were going to work or not. And so I was like, Jason, you want to run my car in 40 plus with Silver Slicks on it? And he's like, yeah, sure. If I'm going to be testing tires, yeah, I'll run it. And so I was like, okay, all right, here's your car. Like, and slapped tires on it, gave it to him. And he was like, dude, that thing's dialed. Run them. I'm like, okay. So that's why we committed to the Silver Slicks. He's like, that car drives really well. And he's went out there and started driving it. He's like, that thing's super easy to drive. Like, your car's good. So, anyway, yeah, like, sent him out there on some brand new Silver Slicks. I scuffed them a little bit just to take the sheen off of them, but honestly, like, you probably didn't even need to do that.
Yeah,
it was probably my own headspace.
The Silver Slicks that I ran had one run in Hutchinson on them, and the Salt City race, it was so dry that the slicks didn't work. We all went back to treads, expecting there to be slicks. So I had that brand new set just sitting there, and I'm just like, well, here we go. This is why I kept them, you know.
I ordered some on a whim. Like, I was like, might as well have them.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I did.
So, Alan Horn is a lot like how Cavallari used to win a lot of races.
Pudge luck?
Yeah, pudge luck, where just stuff happens around him, and he's able to just sort of get through it. Brian Dunbar led almost the whole way. I think the last lap, you were calling it. I'm pretty sure it was the last lap, right? They connected on top of the hill up there, and that was that. So, you know, last night when I got home, I watched the replay, and I wasn't mad about this race. I'm not mad at anybody. I don't want to come off across as being mad at anybody or upset with anything. But it's a real gut punch to lose this one because I clearly had the best car, and I drove my ass off.
Yeah.
I drove my ass off, and just the shittiest, crappiest, stupidest set of circumstances kept me from winning this race, and I feel cheated, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And there's a thing about it where, like, you could take this and just be like, well, that's just the way it's going to be for forever, because I've lost a lot of races in really dumb fashions, you know, and I've blown out, you know, on my own accord and stuff like that. And You can either take that and just be like, well, I guess that's the way, or you can look at it and go, you know what? Now I'm even more determined to win this, to win another one. And that's kind of how I feel right now. So I qualified second, and my plan was to just get through the first couple corners, not bother anybody, keep from getting whacked into, stay out of trouble. You know, it's an 8-minute race, so you've got plenty of time. And Brian went a little wide on the first corner, got out in the fluff a little bit, and I just hung in there. I wasn't even going to try to pass him. And when he came back into the line, he bumped my car just a little bit and got me to spin out basically and collect the whole field behind it. Alan got through. Yeah. I think Alan got through. I think a couple more guys got through, but I got totally effed. 100% effed at the start of this race. And I watched the replay and I'm just like, man, if I would have just been, 6 inches farther back, everything would have been fine, But I wasn't even going to jump the tabletop. I was just going to land on top and then down and then turn. That's what I wanted to do at the start. And I just got totally screwed. And then I got going again, and I come over the back tabletop, and I land, and there's 2 cars getting together, and they're doing the spinning dance, trying to get off one another, and I get collected in that too. So my first lap was like 37 seconds. And I finally got going, and I'm like, you know what? Okay. I can't crash. I have to go really fast, and I cannot crash like once if I'm going to get back up to him. And I drove my butt off. And my fast lap was a 23.2. My average top 5 was a 23.4, and my average top 10 was a 23.6. My average top 15 was a 23.7. And I caught him. I caught him with a minute left to go, both of them. And then Alan got into Brian on the downside of the back double by the wall. And my car, I just tucked right into where that groove was because there was clean air, clean track. And I gave it gas to set up for the triple. And my rear tire barely got touched as I was accelerating. And it sent my car to the right into the pipe. And that's when my turnbuckle busted off. So that sucked to work that hard to get back up there. And to have that happen, that's a real gut punch. And that's a crappy way to lose. And that's I don't think that one's my fault necessarily. Last year was my fault. Last year was just a me not paying attention to how old my battery was, having it die with 30 seconds left to go. That's on me, And the Masters of Dirt race before that, screwing up a set of tires and not practicing, that one's on me too. But this one's not necessarily my fault. So I'm a little miffed now. It's taken a day, but I'm a little miffed.
No, I don't blame you.
But that being said, did I throw my car?
No, you didn't. You took it really well, actually. I was surprised.
I took it like a man.
I was expecting to see radios flying, parts flying, your car, like parts hanging off your car like a barrel of monkeys, Yeah. It's like, dude, people don't realize how I used to be at club races when I'd beat you. Anyway.
Yeah. Nope.
Sorry.
I was pissed. I think people could tell I was mad, like not mad in a mad at anybody way, just basically just like devastated overall. Because I was real quiet. Looking like this is how I looked.
Yeah.
Like that. And then it sort of wore off.
I was like, and here comes the putter throw. Like Happy Gilmore. But yeah, I was ready to see your car just come flying down the straightaway and right into the grandstands or something. Like this full tilt right into the barrier.
Yeah.
Like you didn't. You held it in.
I held it in.
And squeeze that rage into a bitter ball that'll come out later. And
I'm going to catch a fish tonight, and I'm going to take it. I'm going to be like, damn it, stupid.
Yeah, just like that. And you're going to smash it on a rock.
That's what I'm going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Some poor carp is going to be at the end of my my rage.
Yeah. This is just a joke, PETA. But still, you're smashing that.
Yeah, I'm smashing that fish's head in. Yeah. All right, so then, now that that's over with, I think I'm going to go to Hoosier.
Yeah.
So I think Emerson and I talked to Tim about scheduling and stuff like that, and we shuffled some stuff around. I think I'm going to go to Hoosier. I know that you and I are definitely going to Hobby Action for the final one, but I want to get those points. I want those points back, man.
Yeah, I want some points too.
So
I have the truck lead. I think I might have it more than I realize I have it by, actually.
Yeah. But if a fifth is not going to cut it in this one, because I think, if I remember correctly, I think Alan TQ'd round 1 and Brian Dunbar actually won. Mm-hmm. And then I think Brian Dunbar TQ'd this one and Alan Horn won, and I TQ'd Adrenaline and won. But my second race is a 5, and their second race is a 2nd. So the only shot I have at the national INS title is to go to another one that I wasn't expecting to go to and try to do well there. Honestly, I'm basically shooting for a 2nd or a 3rd. Mm-hmm. Or a win, obviously, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Racing at Brian Dunbar's home track.
I don't think I can go into somebody's home track and you know, I'm not saying that. I'm not good enough. I'm not saying I'm good enough to do that, but there's always a shot, you know. You might as well take it.
Yeah.
So
see what happens. I don't know. Like I
think you're in a position where you don't have to go.
You think so?
I mean, honestly, you have 2 wins.
Yeah.
So you only need 3. I think that I'm not telling you not to go. I'd love to have you come with us, but I'm not trying to pressure you into going in any way.
I'd love to go. I just need to see what kind of vacation I'm going to have and what my wife thinks about it.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, she might be upset with me. But it's like, well, I don't have any kids, you know.
I can tell you that after this year, because I will be traveling a lot. It'll probably be a while before I travel a lot again. The travel RC car thing and me, the way that my job is and my schedule is, and how much money I like to spend on this hobby, this sport, or whatever you want to call it of ours, it goes in spurts, you know. There's been years where I've wanted to travel all over the place, and I do, and then December comes around and I got no money left, and I'm like, man, maybe I shouldn't have gone to all those, you know.
Yeah.
But I think this year, you and I and even Tommy kind of made a collective decision. Hey, let's go to these 3. Let's try to make 3. We're gonna have one at our place. Let's go to these other 2.
Mm-hmm.
But now I've got it in my head that after this weekend that, you know, I've got no shot. Why would I even go to the last one if I'm got a 5th in this one?
Yeah. Jason told me I should go to Hoosier.
Yeah.
So.
No, I know.
Yeah. We'll see. See what I can do. I gotta do some real ass kissing around here.
At least you got a wife that likes that.
Yeah. She's into that.
Mine would be like, ew, get away.
Not in the literal sense.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's too bad. Okay, we got to talk about Mini. Let's get it out of the way because we're almost done.
Okay.
What?
No, go ahead. No, Mini, yeah.
Okay. So, here's what we did. So, all the Mini racing was free, right? So, I said, hey, if you bring a Mini with you, we can race it. We'll take as many as we can. We're only going to do 1 heat around. So, if we had more than what we had, so we ended up with 14 at one time. A couple guys dropped out. But The plan was if we had 15 or less, we just run one heat every day. Or not every day, God damn it, at the end of each round, right? And then a main event, and they'll be put in the actual, order of things and all that. If we had more than 15, we'd split it up and do like an elimination style thing like we did at the Novak race a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So if we had, let's say we had like 20 entries, right? So we'd have a heat of 10 in the first heat in Q1, and then a different heat of 10 in Q2. And we'll take like the top 4 of those straight to the main, and then we'll have an LCQ in the last one with everybody, and then the top 2 would fill in those 10 cars or something like that, right? Mm-hmm. But that didn't happen, so it doesn't matter. But that's kind of where my thought process was, because I didn't want to take too much time away from the actual program.
Mm-hmm.
But we ended up with 14. I think they were all locals. This was just a big local heat of mini buggy, and it was super fun because Emerson really puts a lot of effort into his mini racing. He's got a couple different cars. He's got a box of parts. He's always changing stuff and working on his car and actually like getting it all set up. And he's pretty dialed on carpet, even though I beat him all the time. And then, but he made a car specifically for this race. What are you laughing at? What's so funny?
Because I know how it ends.
Oh yeah. Okay. So he made a car specifically for this race, and it was dialed. And he got Jason took video of him. And it got like 1,000 something views on a few different places. And his buggy has, as fast as it was, handled way better than my car does, right? Because I just took my car. I was like, well, this is my carpet car. I'm just going to put ellipse tires on it, and I'm just going to go drive it. And my car's just hitting the ground the whole time, just bouncing around. But I could still do the triple, I could do all the stuff. I could do the tabletop, land on the downside and all that stuff. And,
I don't know how you drive that thing on the track.
God.
Unless it's better than the last time.
Dude, I let Davey, Davey, Sam, and Dominic drive my car Saturday night as they were packing up, and all 3 of them were like, "Dude, this thing's got more grip than my stuff does."
Really?
Yeah, it did. It was pretty good. My car's pretty good. All right. So, anyways, this is really funny. So Emerson is your top qualifier. He wins round 1. He wins round 2. I get second in both. He breaks out of the third one. Okay, which whatever. He was already TQ, so it doesn't matter. So he starts first. I rewatched this whole race. He pulled away from everybody, including me, and I'm sitting back there battling with Connor Herrick, and I'm just thinking, well, this is pretty fun. I get to race. I'm racing Connor. We're having a good time. Connor finally crashes, and I finally get around him, and I never see him again. But then all of a sudden I see this yellow car, and I realize that it's my son, and I'm like, what's happening? I'm up on the driver's stand because I want him to win, to be honest with you. I was like, dude, take care of your car. Don't break that car. Make sure you don't break it, dude. And he's standing right next to me. He goes, he's like, I got this. And then I heard a couple, oh, God damn it. Because in the video, you can see him he got head on with somebody that was in the wrong lane.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
dude, those cars are so hard to see.
Yeah.
From.
But he got head on by somebody, and then that let me catch back up to him. And then he bobbled. I don't even know where he bobbled at, but he bobbled, and I got around him. And he's up there, and he's going, dude, Dad, let's give these guys a really good show. He's like, let's give them a good show. And I'm like, all right, let's go. Let's do this. And we turn the corner, and I hear the dung. And I crossed the line, and I'm like, oh, my God, I just won this race. Because we were expecting to get another lap. And I wasn't going to let my son win, right? I don't play that. But he was like, let's give these guys a good show on the last lap. And I'm like, all right, freaking sweet, let's do it. And then, like I said, we turned that corner, and dong, and I crossed the line. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I just won. So that was pretty awesome. Emerson got second. I mean, it was fun either way, but
I was on the microphone like, Alex is never gonna let Emerson live this down.
I felt bad, to be honest with you, because it was Emerson's thing. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Am I a bad dad for doing that?
No,
I don't think so.
I bet it doesn't happen again, or it's fewer and far between.
I hope not. I really hope
gotta
not.
light that fire.
Yeah. But we both survived, too. We both lasted the entire 5 minutes. Connor Herrick got third. He's another one that was kind of kind of amped up to run the Mini V at this thing. Trevor Moss was another one. He ended up 4th. He was actually up there with Emerson at the start. Emerson started out in 4th place. Like he made something happen and he ended up falling back and was in 4th for a little while. And then Chris Haida, dude. Chris Haida from 12th to 5th. That was the biggest mover. Him and Andrew Thomas actually were up there. In 6th, Dylan Haas was 7th. Connor Hausch was 8th. Emily Bagley 9th. Lily Kaziski was 10th, and John Haas was 11th. Ryan Nemec was 12th. So that was a lot of fun. It added kind of a fun, not so serious tone, I think, to the day. At least I hope it did. That's kind of what I was going for, you know?
Yeah.
So, so anyway, so I got the tall trophy at home.
Yeah. You have it up?
Not yet, but I will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you should get like a hallway like stand, or what is it, like an end table for your hallway, and just put it right outside Emerson's door, or put it on a shelf on the wall. So like when Emerson like leaves every day, it's just right there.
Jason took a underbody shot of my car for the blog.
Yeah.
For the blog too. Thought that was pretty rad.
Yeah.
Dude, those green ellipse tires on the minis work really good.
Yeah.
They're green compound. You would think they wouldn't, but you can hear them screeching.
I don't think that they have the weight that our car does.
Right.
Folds them over.
Also, you should feel them. They're super tight on there, like with the foam that's in them. Like there's no give at all. Like, remember the Adrenaline? The first time we glued up greens, and we're like, Jesus Christ, these things are all like stretchy and gooey. The mini tires don't do that at all, not one bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, stadium truck. Let's get to stadium truck. Did we talk about 4-wheel drive independent buggy? I don't think we did yet. Where is that race
I don't think we did.
I got to find that race. We're almost done. I got to get some more bug spray so I don't get bit a whole bunch by crappy
fish.
No, not fish, but crappy bugs.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, we got 4-wheel drive and then we got truck. And expert 2-wheel drive. We'll talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
So independent buggy again, a lot of regulars in this one, a few that weren't, which is pretty cool too. So TJ Williams, super proud of him. He just did what the pros did in expert and mod, TQ'd, and just took off. Really never to be seen again.
Mm-hmm.
So he got a first place. He beat Connor Herrick by about 7 seconds, and just drove his butt off, man.
Nice.
So TJ had a really good day. I think Andy said that they're actually thinking about going to Hoosier as well. So TJ might be looking at traveling for a race. So, but again, I just feel like our program works, and we're finally getting to where I think Des Moines was years ago.
Yeah, I would say so.
Do you know what I'm saying? Des Moines kind of had this grinder of spitting out fast kids.
Yeah.
And we sort of started doing that, and then it sort of abruptly stopped when a few stopped racing.
Mm-hmm.
And it never, it took a while to get going again. And now that we've had such a strong race program the last 4 or 5 years, I think it's finally kind of coming to fruition. Like, a lot of these kids are getting good enough where maybe even next year they'll run expert and beat there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So TJ Williams with 2 independent wins. It's pretty great. Connor Herrick got second, and I'm really happy to see this for Connor too, because I know that he struggles every once in a while. He'll I think 2-wheel drive he struggled a little bit. I know he struggled in truck, but here in this one too, with a solid second. And Noah Ward had a really good one. This was, I believe, his highest finish in any class for the weekend. He raced 4 classes.
Mm-hmm.
And And then Eddie Henley, the owner of Hoosier RC, qualified second. His car looked great.
Yeah.
Looked really good. And just, he got in. He had, fast laps right up there with him. Still finished in the top 5, finished 4th. Tim Weekends was 5th. Dalton Conrad from the 9th spot up to 6th. So another great finish for him. Trevor Moss, another local, 7th. Brett Nelson from KC finished 8th. Matt Robinson, who doesn't even race that much, really.
Mm-hmm.
He finished 9th, and Keaton Ratty finished 10th.
Nice.
And I think Keaton and those guys are coming up for all of our Summer Series races we have left, too.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're going to make 4 rounds, so we'll officially include them as being a local. And then we had truck. So this was your bag.
Yeah.
Go ahead and tell what happened, dude.
Well, I TQ'd the first round of qualifying by, I think, 3 seconds, something like that, over Kyle Holmberg. Mm-hmm. And then in the second qualifier, I had a pretty decent, maybe it was like a second, less than a second. It was really close. And something happened to
that's right,
Kyle. And then I was like, sweet. And like as soon as I came off of that the double that goes up the hill or whatever, my car is going up there and it didn't have power.
Just shut off.
And I was, yeah, well, it wasn't dead stick. It still had steering.
Oh.
And so I think it was Chad Rico said, oh, yeah, when they picked your car up, I could see the speed control was flashing red. And I was like, really? Okay. Because they shut it off and turned it back on and it worked. And I couldn't believe it. I was devastated. Like I would have got.
You would have had TQ.
I feel like I would have had TQ.
Yeah.
I feel like I would have.
Easily.
But
there was like a minute left in the race, maybe even less. And
yeah.
At that point, you had a huge lead over everybody.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So that happened. And so I come in to the pits. Everybody's like, what's the matter with it? I'm like, I have no idea. I was like, bummed out. I wasn't pissed. It's like getting mad about it's not going to do anything. You got to figure out what's wrong with it.
Yeah.
So I stripped that thing down, put all new electronics in it, everything with the transponder.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought it could have been and see the thing is it got turned off and on before I could see the light.
Right. So you didn't.
So I don't know what it could have just been a sensor wire. I don't know. So that thing got a new battery, a new speed control. I take that back. I didn't change the receiver. I didn't change the servo. I didn't change the transponder. But it got a new battery, new speed control, new motor, new sensor wire. And it didn't do it again. So there's that. Third round of qualifying, the track grooved up to the point where the tires I was running on were slower.
Yeah.
I was running gold with a little bit of tread on them, like this. And they were easy to drive, but I just kind of thought, I just need a clean qualifier, I need this last clean qualifier, for whatever best starting position I can get. And, so I ran on them. I believe, what's Dominic?
Mm-hmm.
Dominic TQ'd the last round. He ran S3 slicks, and he had he made the right tire choice for his program. That's if that's what I had, that's what I'd have been on.
Yeah.
But I rolled on this because I knew it was going to be safe. So, and I had silver slicks already there, and I was like, I could put these on. Mm-hmm. But not knowing how they'd work, it would have been the first run on them. I needed, if you crash, you risk breaking your car too, popping a ball cup off,
right?
Stupid stuff. So I rolled on that, and it was. I don't even know if it was close, honestly. I think he ran 13. I ran like a fast 12.
Yeah, he got the extra lap, which is how he ended up getting the better tiebreaker.
Yeah. So, the track really came to his stuff. and I rolled out. He rolled out first. I rolled out second, and Kyle Holmberg was rolled out third. And so we'll go to the race. So the main tone goes off. I'm kind of following around. Well, okay. So I went out. I go out. I always watch the lower mains for my classes that I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason is I want to, and I'll go over there and look like what tires they have on. Who's their car look good? Let's see what their tires are. And I was watching the cars and the trucks in the lower mains that were running slicks, regardless of the manufacturer of the tire. It looked like they were having they didn't have grip issues, but they had consistency issues where the groove was still kind of narrow for the day.
Yeah.
So the stuff would kind of slide out, and I was like, okay, well, there's that. So I made the decision to go out on the gold treaded, a little slicked out in the middle tires that I'd been running all weekend. And I was like, I know these are going to work. I know they're going to get around. I need something that's comfortable. Like I have to be able to drive it for 8 minutes. So, and Kyle Holmberg was telling me he was like, oh, you should totally go out on those. You should go out on those because I'm like, if you go out on those, I'm going to win. Like I'm going to beat you. Like that. He was like, dude, Silver Slicks. I don't even know why you're trying that. I was like, dude, I'm running this. This is what I'm putting on. So I put those on, and I figured that I didn't even go look at Dominic's car. I just could only assume that he was going to run S3s, slicks. And so I put on what I was going to run. In practice, I was like, I don't know. This is going to be slow. Might be slow. And so I was like, I'm going to commit to the bit here and run these. But I know that they're always going to have grip no matter what. And so the tone goes off. I'm falling around Dominic, and Kyle's right on me. And I go up we make it all the way around to the big triple. I go a little wide on the big triple because my stuff kind of pushed a little bit before the front tires heated up. And Kyle got on the inside of me. We bumped a little bit, and I saved it. And I was in third. I'm like, okay, well, it's a long race. And followed him around. Well, he went off that center double and ripped throttle, and his stuff got squirrely, went off. I almost hit him when he came back onto the track and went around him. And then after that, I was I was just sticking with Dominic. Like he wasn't pulling away. I really wasn't gaining a whole lot on him. Maybe he was pulling away a few tenths a lap. And then he went up the triple, landed the triple, and turned into the pipe. And then I just drove around him and kept pulling away a little bit. And then he got kind of back in the groove of things. He was reeling me in. He'd get close to me and spin out or get into a pipe, run into a pipe. And then I'd have that gap again of about 2 or 3 seconds. And then he would soak it back in the next minute or so. And then he'd make a mistake again and pull back.
Yeah.
And it just kind of rubber banded that whole time behind me. And I'm just out there clicking off the same lap over and over and over again. And like, I can't spin my car out.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't get it to spin out.
I
think it had a ton of grip.
From what I saw, I think Kyle actually had the fastest truck.
He did.
But he crashed
he did.
a lot.
Uh-huh.
And but he had the fastest truck because I think he had the fastest truck because he was way behind Emerson. Well, Emerson was in third, and I mean he chased him down pretty quick.
Oh yeah, he was definitely on like the right tire for hot lap.
Yeah,
no doubt about it. But I went with the more consistent route.
Emerson and I we chatted about it a little bit because he had a set of Silver Slicks that he had. Kind of waiting around. I remember he's raced a few. He raced at last summer series on Silver Slicks and truck, and he had a fast truck, but he crashed a lot. And I was like, you got a choice to make. You can either You can either go with what you know and been running all weekend. They're worn down a little bit, but at least these are what you know. If you can drive for 8 minutes without crashing, dude, I'm telling you, you're going to do just fine. And he ended up sticking with that instead of changing to slicks. And that's kind of what happened. He was solidly in third, and he raced with Tom Smith for a while. They were having a really good race, and then he got away from Tom finally, and then Kyle was coming through the field there at the end and just got him, a couple laps before the end. But kind of the same deal. I kind of wish maybe we should have slicked him out a little bit, I guess. I don't know. But he had a very comfortable truck, and that was the best he's driven all weekend. I told him that he was so bummed out at the end of that race. I couldn't believe it.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, this is exactly what I started on that main. Like, they hardly wore. There might be a little bit lower in the middle, but that's what I ran on. And they're like, if you watch, like they're pretty well. They've actually kind of shrank now that they've been out a little bit.
They're a little stretchy.
They were pretty stretched out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like the last lap, for Dominic and I, he made like one more mistake coming up after that long double or the long tabletop and then up the hill and then the drop off. Like right before the drop off, he tubed it, and that was it. It was smooth sailing after that. And I even laid up on the tabletop like before the loop and like had like night terrors about my buggy run.
Yeah.
I turned into the pipe, and anyway, so yeah, I got it, and I think it was just knowing what tires to run for me.
Yeah. Dominic did get second, so technically you two tied, I think.
Yeah, it would have been a wash.
I think they're doing one TQ point, is what Jason said. So, Kyle Holmberg did get that third. Emerson finished fourth, and I was super proud of my son for doing that because he had a goal. He wanted to beat you, or be behind you. That was basically what he wanted to be. He wanted to either get first or second to you. That's what that was his goal. So,
why would he care about getting second to me?
Because you're the man right now. In truck, especially. So he was close, but he's still, in my opinion, this is still, as far as an INS championship type thing, the long game. This is perfectly fine.
Yeah. If you think about the guys he got beat by, like, it's kind of a second, like for, you know what I mean? Like, it's, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, those are some really fast guys. I didn't think I was going to beat him. I really didn't. Like, I never feel like I'm going to beat anybody. Like, I always, like, try extra hard.
Right.
Because I always feel like I'm not good enough.
I mean, Kyle is super fast at everything, but, I mean, in this class specifically, I think he won CRC one year, like recently.
Yeah, he won the carpet race in Vegas.
Right, exactly. He won the carpet race. Didn't he win the carpet race at Thunder? In truck?
I think so.
So, I mean, Emerson was right up there with him, and I think Emerson sometimes he's got my disease where he thinks he's not good enough either.
And big shout out to Kyle Holmberg because he gave me a new speed control, and he helped me with ESC settings.
Yeah,
like Kyle helped me so much this weekend. Like he's a good friend.
Kyle helped me with tires.
Yeah, Kyle's a great guy.
I was like, hey man, can you just prep these for me so I can run the races? He's like, I got you. Just go win this thing. That's what he said. So it wasn't even a question. Kyle Holmberg's super stout dude.
Yeah, he's always just been really nice to me. He's always been a good friend. So,
Tom Smith, solid top 5. Dustin Hosick from the 10 to the 6.
And he just bought that
truck from Wade and didn't change a thing.
Yeah.
He just went out and drove it.
I think that has my setup on it, actually. Yeah. It might. I don't know.
Talon Henley finished 7th. And then TJ.
He's from Hoosier,
he's from
right?
Hoosier, yep.
Yeah, and he's the owner's son.
And then TJ Williams made his 3rd main of the weekend here in truck and finished 8th.
Yeah.
And then Sam Ford, who I believe was here for the first time. He's from Colorado, from like the Denver area. Finished 9th. And then Templeman was 10th.
Mm-hmm.
And he was done in about the 6-minute mark.
Yeah, he broke out, didn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So,
dude, I always like am on the verge of crying whenever I do those interviews on the driver's stand.
Yeah.
Like, can anybody tell? Like, is it obvious?
I could tell at adrenaline when I was walking by you, but when I watched the replay, you can't tell.
Yeah. Don't tell anybody.
Yeah, I won't tell anybody.
I don't know why. Like, why do I do that?
I don't know. It's emotion, dude. When I TQ'd round 2 in buggy this weekend in 40 plus, I was pretty amped up. Like I haven't shouted or done anything like that when I've won things in a while. I used to do that all the time during the summer series because I knew all these kids were getting fast, and I knew that if you're in such a concentration mode, like you're just focused so hard, and then when that focus finally breaks, you can let out something. You can let out some sort of emotion. And I used to sound mad, but I wasn't. I was happy. You know, I did that.
Yeah.
I did that in A2 after the second qualifier when I TQ'd that round. I was pretty stoked.
See, I normally never do anything. I hate celebrating. Like, I don't do it. Like, for me personally, like it's for whatever reason, it's like bad karma for me. So I always just try to be as quiet as possible and, like let the results speak for themselves.
Right.
I never make a big deal. And I never act like I'm a big deal because I'm not.
Well, I never act like I'm a big deal. Not anymore.
Yeah. But like I did like a little arm pump or something after the race. And that was like the most I've ever celebrated in years. But that just met.
I did rub it in.
I
did rub it in pretty hard when I won Mini.
Oh, but why? That's your kid.
Anyway,
kid. But I just kind of look like, am I the only local to win a class, like in a expert class type thing?
I mean, I guess so. Yeah.
Because TJ and I won the only local classes, right? Or the only locals to win classes.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. We kept some trophies here.
Yep. Okay. So
I guess truck's not an expert class.
It can be. It is. I mean, it's
there's some heavy hitters in there.
Yeah, it's this thing.
How many trucks did we have?
30.
Really?
Yeah, almost 30. Almost 30. Like 27 or something like that.
That's a good showing of trucks.
It is. That is a very good showing of trucks. All right, expert buggy, and then I think we're done with all the classes. So Brendan Schimmel did what he did in four-wheel drive, and it was pretty much untouchable at this one. He did the same thing in Adrenaline. Like I remember getting lapped by him in four-wheel like twice at Adrenaline. I was actually pretty happy that it only happened once.
What is the guy? What does that guy look like?
Brendan?
Yeah. Is he the guy with red hair?
No.
Glasses? Oh, no. Okay. That's not him. Okay. That guy has a sweet nickname. I can't remember his name, but I know his nickname. It's like the biggest compliment.
Oh. What is it? Is it something you can say on here?
It's 7 Soft.
Okay.
Or Soft 7. I can't remember which way it goes.
Kyle Holmberg got second in this one. And he had a decent car, and I think especially in A2, I think they were a little bit closer to Brennan for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
Before Brennan just did what he did and just sort of drove away from everybody.
Nice.
And then Pat Naud, he's kind of a semi local. He's been here enough. Got third. I think that's the highest he finished out of all of his classes he ran. Brian Dunbar, race expert stock, finished fourth. Mason Templeman got fifth. James Bell, sixth. Hendrickson from the 10 to the 7, so he kind of got his act together in the mains. James Dolan got the bump and finished eighth. And then it was Sammy Moran, Jackson Anderson, and Talon Henley. So Jackson made another main. Talon Henley got up there in the main. You know, got to race 3 more times on Sunday. That's what it's all about. So overall, there was a lot of expert buggies. There's a lot of independent buggies. It was pretty cool just to fill that grid with everybody. And overall, pretty good showing. Was that the triple main of results? Yeah, it was. Okay, good. I posted the wrong thing. So yeah. So I guess I don't see any reason why we wouldn't, but I got to wait a little bit before I find out for sure that we're holding next year's.
Yeah, I hope we do. That'd be sweet.
And to be honest with you, as long as we have this race at this time of year, I personally don't have any reason to put in for Rorinets anymore.
Yeah. It'd be too much.
Way too much, because it'd be a month apart. I think it would hurt the turnout of both races, and it'd be a shit ton of work for me.
Mm-hmm. And you'd have a lot of guys coming in for a month at a time, like preparing.
I mean, that part would be cool, but to me, this felt like a national event.
Oh, it did. I mean, it is indoor national series.
And then if you look at it from a hobby store, you know, track manager standpoint too, our entry fees, Jconcepts gets $5 of each entry. That's not terrible, The awards, we spend a pretty good penny on those.
Oh, they're very nice. See, let me show you this one. This thing looks nice.
They're a little smaller than I thought they were going to be. But,
yeah, I've heard that one before.
Yeah. But I don't know. I thought the graphic was pretty cool. I liked how I've had.
Is this Omaha?
I have had that Omaha picture in.
Is this Omaha?
Yes.
This is Omaha?
Yeah, it is.
Right here?
Yeah, I've had the Omaha picture, that specific Omaha picture that I ripped off the internet in my computer for a while. And I was like, hey, can we take this and put it on the front of our awards this year? So, and then the funny thing is I don't know if I showed you, but the first proof they had some rando like yellow short course truck on there. And I was like, can we please not have a short course truck on our trophies?
That's funny.
So. Oh, where'd he go? We got through the whole thing. He just disappeared.
Want to do pivot?
Yeah, we can do pivot. We're going to do pivot right now. I'm going to drink the rest of my Kickstart.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Yeah! This is a Pivot Lending Update with David Olson and Don Zoller. Get some.
Hi, this is David Olson with Pivot Lending Group, and today we want to talk about the Lock and Shop program that we brought back to you guys in May. And it's important today because interest rates are on the rise. The Fed is determined that they are going to potentially raise interest rates at least 2 to 3 times this coming year. And within the dynamics of our industry, we have some quantitative easing that's going to be pulled back. So currently, the Treasury has conservatorship over Fannie Mae, and they are purchasing in the mortgage world, mortgage-backed securities at a certain rate, a pretty fast rate. And that purchase program has really helped to create a market for mortgage-backed securities over the last probably decade, and has been one of the big catalysts for driving interest rates down. And it's been announced that not only are they looking to raise interest rates, they're looking to pull back on the purchasing of mortgages, which means that it will be more driven, rates will be driven by the private sector. And inevitably, that means the rate of return that a private investor is going to want over the government right now is going to be substantially higher. In addition to the quantitative easing being restricted or being pulled back, we also have inflation. And so inflation now, decade over decade, we're seeing inflation move out of that transitory conversation and actually hit the kitchen table economics as far as gas, bread, butter. And with inflation comes higher interest rates, higher returns on everything across the financial industry. So between the inflationary environment, the quantitative easing environment, and then the rates in conjunction with the inflation, we're going to be in a different world altogether as far as rates this time next year. So why am I talking about the Shop and Lock program? It allows you to lock in as we see rates moving up dramatically month over month this coming year and even into 2023. You're going to have the ability for $500 to come into our office, complete an application, get pre-approved, and then lock your interest rate, even without finding a home yet. And you'll have 60 days, so 2 months to find a home. Once you find a home, you have 30 days to close on that home. So for $500, we're going to basically give you 90 days to secure that interest rate. We guarantee that we'll close it within 30 days if you can guarantee you can find the home within 60 days. Once we close, or during that closing process, we will give you a lender credit for the $500. We'll take that $500 off of your closing costs so that it doesn't cost you anything out of pocket to lock that interest rate, use that program. If you do not find anything outside of that period, then there's the $500 charge. Now, that being said, some people are going to say, well, in this market, you can't find a house in 60 days. You'll be surprised how many houses, what the inventory starts to look like here over the next 12 months. With the rates going up, the purchasing power is going to go down, and you're going to see people that are sliding outside of those debt ratio parameters or just not qualifying within a higher rate environment. And so, there are going to be fewer buyers, and that's going to allow you more time to look at the inventory that's out there. So the positive of a higher rate environment and all the things we're talking about, as well as the Shop and Lock program, does benefit the folks out there that have been out of the market and unable to find anything or put cash down, be that cash buyer. So we're excited to see the opportunities will be growing for that sector of the consumer market here in 2022. So Shop and Lock program is fantastic for you guys. Let me know if I can help. Give me a call, 402-881-5951. Shoot me a text. Just make sure that you put your name on there and the best way to reach you, whether it's via text or email. And we'll talk to you guys soon.
David Olson, NMLS 16099. Don Zoller, NMLS 277589. Pivot Lending, NMLS 109995.
We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
Hey, you're back.
Yeah, I'm back. My phone is doing that thing where it's getting too hot.
Oh.
And like I charged my phone before we started.
Yeah.
And it's already down to like 17%.
Yeah.
It was like all the way up. But like normally it doesn't get sucked down that far.
Sucking down that energy.
Mm-hmm. Normally I can start the show on 60% and be fine. Anyway, go ahead.
Let's get through the comments.
Okay.
Peter's on here. Hello, Peter. Nice to see you after a 3-week break or so.
Hey, Peter.
John Haas, Nut House is here. David Fast was here from the start. They're talking about who won the mod raffles. I gave Matt Olson our Hobbyplex Facebook page info. So we ran the mod live stream on the Hobbyplex show, not the Hobbyplex show, but the Hobbyplex store page all weekend long.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Does anyone know the actual release date for the Arma, Outcast, and Creighton 4 SV2? I keep asking. No one seems to really know. I know. It's supposed to be. Hang on here. I believe it's July 22nd, but let me double check here. Hang on. Where's it at? Let me show images. Come on, phone. Where's it at? July 22nd. Should be available July 22nd. Unless they're late. But they haven't been late on the coordinated launch stuff, so July 22nd. So there you go. Daniel says, hi, on a cruise ship, not connected well. See ya. Petrick was here, Nick. He's got a couple cars for sale, but I'm trying to keep myself from buying any more because I don't have any room for him. Michael Root, will a 380 motor fit in a Traxxas Teton with no mods? I think a brushed 380 motor, it'll fit, but the problem you're going to have is finding pinion gears that fit the shaft, because that's the same problem that brushless people have when they try to make a Teton brushless. Is Traxxas has a specific pitch for their spur gear, and none of the pinion gears out there actually match it. Here's the deal. I tell this all the time to people at the Hobbyplex, and guess what? Not very many people listen to me. So they buy the brushless system for it anyways, and they all come back with the same thing. They're like, well, I can't get a pinion gear to fit. And I'm like, I told you that. So, hate to sound rude and condescending, but that's the hard part about getting Tetons to go with any different motor, any brushless stuff, because the shaft is specific for their pinion gears, unless you want to drill some stuff. So.
Yeah.
No. Ralph Lauren, hello from Concord, California.
Hey, Ralph.
I wonder if
Thanks
that's
for
the
watching.
Ralph Lauren. Yeah.
What?
Peter bought an ultralight pistol grip ugly stick yesterday. That's a fishing reel and rod, I believe.
Oh.
Tom Baker says the Hobbyplex built a great track. Thank you. Mike Solkowski says I'm going to try and make the rest of the races for Independent Buggy. I believe he's from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Fasty says the jump corner wasn't everybody's favorite, but I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Baker commented, that corner sucks, and then put the upside down smiley face. Does anyone have any issues with the mod puck system in Wheeler? No, I have not yet. And mine's been really good. You got to replace them. I mean, you got to replace those little plastic thingies every once in a while. That's why they sell them. So they're replaceable.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, Chili actually corrected me that Sammy Moran did in fact indeed win the Carpet Nats 2-wheel drive buggy title, not the truck title.
Yes.
And I thought it was the other way around. So go figure. Diet Pepsi? What are these guys saying? I'm missing the joke on this one.
Yeah, I don't get it. I saw this thing on it, like about Diet Pepsi. I don't get it.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Peter came in 6th in Stadium Truck out of 6 at his race that he was at. Tom Baker. Okay, Tom, I'm going to help you out here on this one. And it's not that I don't like Schumacher or anything like that. Tom Baker says, I'm thinking about getting a Schumacher 4-wheeler. Tom, I love you. Don't do that, because you will have to stock up on parts, because Tom, you break a lot of stuff. So you won't have any local part support for that car. So you will have to stock up on your own for arms, knuckles, turnbuckles, turnbuckle rod ends, probably shock towers, stuff like that. So that's what I think. So stick to the car you have, or go to the associated car. That's just my opinion. Let's see. Are you grinding down certain tires to slicks, or using those tires that come new as slicks? Trevor Paul wanted to know.
On buggy, I'm running the smoothies. They're the smoothie 2s.
Yep.
They're the purpose-made slicks. And then, like on truck, they don't make a smoothie for it yet.
Right.
So you take ellipses, silver ellipses, and grind them with slicks.
Yeah. People were taking ellipses and grinding them down, but if you had them, Smoothie 2 is a pretty awesome tire.
Mm-hmm.
I think Brock had him. Brock like opened them up, put them on his car, went out and ran them, was like, wow, these are dialed.
Yeah. Nope.
You did have to sauce them. Obviously, I mean, of course, we're an indoor track, so you did have to tire sauce them of your whatever tire sauce you choose to use. So. My sister says she's proud of me for not getting mad and throwing stuff.
Me too.
Alex, are you going to the AE race? I think that's the trackside race. That's usually
the buggy champs.
That's usually in the fall, and I will not be able to afford it. So I am dead set on the INS thing this year. You know, I wanted to. I want. It's been a kind of a goal of mine for the last 10 years to try to do the INS thing the whole way through. So that's where I'm at with that. So maybe next year. Maybe next year I'll pull back on the traveling, just pick one, or one big one maybe to go to. That might be it. I don't know. I like trackside.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Baker says, thanks, Will, for the help.
Oh, yeah.
Anthony, I thought Emerson had it till he got taken out by someone doing cookies at the turn before the tabletop at the end. I think that was the car that hit him head on, too. I'm pretty sure.
No.
Actually, Emerson got really lucky that his turnbuckles didn't come off or anything like that when that happened. So, Dylan Record, this is one I read this and I'm trying to figure out what he's talking about. But he says, so I have a Traxxas Slash VXL 2-wheel drive, and that small white piece in the front pops off on one side. What should I do? Small white piece.
Is it the servo saver?
The servo saver, maybe? Or is he talking about the brace?
Yeah.
Is he talking about the brace?
It's probably the brace.
Yeah.
Probably new Eclipse if it's the brace. New servo saver, it's the servo saver.
Yeah. If it's the thing in the front, the brace, you can actually run without it. It's just to keep you from breaking the bulkhead. But STRC actually makes an aluminum one with hinge pins that we sell for like $12. That's a really good upgrade and it's cheap. Might look into that. Tom Baker says, I thought all the AE pros were super friendly. Talked to most of them. I think that we're really close to being towards the end. I could hear you TT him, Alex. I don't know what that means. Anyways, Anthony Santi got 2. What happened to Team Novak, and is an original Tamiya Hot Shot worth anything yet? Haven't seen the condition. Novak's not a thing. Novak hasn't been around since 2016. An original Hot Shot, yeah, it's probably worth something. It'd be an eBay thing. The used market on original Tamiya stuff is still pretty big. I don't know how the economy stuff going on right now is going to handle that, but if it's in really good condition, you got yourself a valuable car. If it's in kind of crappy condition, then it's a crapshoot. Depends on who's looking to buy one. Yeah. They did re-release the Hot Shot, so that kind of hit the value a little bit because you can buy a brand new one. When is the next club race? Friday. Family Friday Off-Road and Saturday Speed Off-Road this weekend. I will be, I'll probably run my car on Saturday. Yeah. I kind of got a fire in my belly in 2-wheel drive. You do? So, yeah, I do. I thought you just hit yourself just then. No. You went to go grab your phone. It looked like you punched yourself right in the face. Nice. That's the look I was going for. Yeah. And then one more. Thanks for another smooth big race. Alex, Will, and the Hobbyplex crew. That's from David Fast. Yeah, no problem. I think David actually sat in on this whole thing. We're on for like 2.5 hours here. Yeah. Okay, I got to go fishing. So. Okay. That's it. That's our breakdown of the INS. If you've never seen the show before, that's kind of how we do it. Every once in a while, we'll get into stories. Sometimes we'll talk about other stuff going on, other big races and stuff like that. But a lot of it's just local chat. I really wanted to break down our thoughts on this weekend. To sum it all up, we kind of learned how our track will do in the summertime with this many entries over the course of 4 days, and now we know. So that's it. Yeah. Good. Good show. Good show. Good show. Governor. Yeah. Hello, Governor. Governor. Yeah. I think it went well. Yeah, I think so too. So, all right. Well, this program brought to you by Pivot Lending Group. You can find them at pivotlending.com. Make sure that you mention us to Don Zoller or Aiden Olson's dad, and get yourself $500 lender credit or 0.125 off your interest rate when going through with a home loan or refinance. And with that, I go back to work tomorrow, just like that. Don't really get any time off. So, yeah, I went to work today. Yeah, you worked today. Yeah. All right. I got to ride home on my scooter. I'll see all of you guys later. Yep. See you guys. Thanks for everybody that came out from out of town for our race. And
everybody else that helps support it. So
Yep, absolutely.
And thanks for watching.
Become a Patreon member. Give us free money.
yeah, we like free money, internet money.
Internet money.
Yeah.
Bye.
See you guys. Thanks for watching.